So, you've taken the Clifton Strengths Assessment. Great. But now what? Your top strengths aren't just a self-assessment result to be filed under strengths. It's a kind of Rosetta Stone to what makes you exceptional. Your strengths represent how you naturally think and operate. Basically, where you have the greatest potential to excel. But here's the thing. As you're probably aware, just knowing your strengths isn't enough. The real value comes when you develop them intentionally. Just because you are strong in an area doesn't mean that you're an Olympian. Yet. This reminds me of what I see with my executive clients all the time. They take the assessment, admit that it really nails what their strengths are, and then they ask, okay, so what do I do with it? And that's exactly the right question, because this is where things get interesting. The key is to set strengths-based goals. Goals that play to what you already do well rather than trying to fix yourself. Now, most people waste lots of energy focusing on their weaknesses. I need to be more disciplined. I have to learn more functions in Excel, or I should take a public speaking course. Now, none of that is wrong, but I've seen firsthand that the most effective leaders and professionals don't focus so much on their weaknesses, but instead lean into what makes them exceptional. And here's what I tell my clients. Your best goals should align with three things. Where things feel natural and effortless, where you consistently perform at a high level, and where you feel the most engaged and energized. When all three align, you're not just improving, you're compounding your strengths. I used to fall into this trap myself. I'd focus on what needed to be fixed rather than what could be optimized. Now, as you may know, I spent the first 40 years of my life working as a classical musician, but at some point, I sat myself down and asked myself two powerful questions that changed the trajectory of my life. I asked, Michael, where do you have the potential to be truly world-class? And what if you worked on that instead of working so hard at something that hasn't brought you to a world-class level after 10 years of hard work? I would love to tell you that it was that easy for me to see the light after working out the answers to those questions, but the truth is that I was trying to go at it all alone, and the level of self-understanding needed to answer that question might require coaching, as it did in my case. But once I got it, my life was forever changed. And I see that with my clients too. The moment they stop thinking about what they lack and start building on what they're already great at, their progress skyrockets. So what's the next step? Well, here's what I recommend. Pick one of your top strengths where you've already seen success, something that feels very natural and enjoyable, and ask yourself, how could I be 10% more effective in this area? Not perfect, just better. Think about what would change if you could spend just a little bit more time working in that zone. Then find someone you trust, a mentor, a coach, a peer, to reflect back what they see as your greatest strengths. Sometimes others see them more clearly than we do. At the end of the day, exceptional performance doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you focus like a laser on what already makes you great and you push it further. So if you're wondering what to work on, start here. Identify your strengths, which you presumably did with the StrengthsFinder, set goals that leverage them, and keep refining them with purpose.